What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Guys, it's been something. I'll put it that way. It's been something. I really don't know what to say. Things is a bit of a struggle. I kind of don't really want to get into it on here, only because I don't want it to seem like it's a big sob story, but I might mention some of it. I know I told you guys I had a tournament coming up. I did fish that tournament. It was a couple of weekends ago. I don't have any video footage on that. One of my cameras that I was trying to use was not recording for some reason, and my boat, I guess I'm gonna get into it. My boat has been giving me some trouble here lately. A lot of the reasons for that is because the outboard that is on my boat is an 80s model Mercury. I believe that motor was probably manufactured and produced sometime before I was born. So I was born in '84. So it's pretty old, and a lot of the boat shops around the area are starting to steer clear of those outboards because they are so old. It's getting hard for them to find a lot of the OEM parts to do maintenance on them, and so it's kind of getting to a point where either I've got to try to figure out stuff on my own and try to fix it, or I am having to try to figure out how I can get some money and try to get me a new boat. Ever since I've started my channel, I've really enjoyed doing my fishing videos. I've really enjoyed doing my videos where I have made upgrades and done stuff to the boat. This was my dad's boat. I started working on it back in 2017 after my dad passed away, and I'm not really ready to retire that boat, but it's getting to that point now, and I've got to figure something out, guys. Otherwise, I don't know how I'm going to be able to, I don't know how I'm going to be able to continue doing tournament videos and just fishing videos in general if I don't have a boat. I mean, I know I can go out and try to fish the banks and stuff, but I really like getting out on the water, showing you guys some fishing stuff from inside the boat. I've had my eyes on a couple of boats through the Facebook Marketplace, but like I said, the big issue is me trying to come up with the funds to do that. So the tournament video, the tournament footage, I didn't even continue filming because we were having so much trouble with the boat. I think we spent more time trying to work out the kinks and the problems with the boat than actually enjoying the moment that we had on the water fishing. So I didn't get tournament footage. Nothing really spectacular to talk about or brag about. We didn't catch any fish the whole day, so it was kind of a bust for us. But that's the grind that I've been having here lately, is trying to work out these kinks with the boat. Hopefully I can get it going to where it can last me at least 1 or 2 more seasons, and then I've got to really figure something out if I'm going to be able to keep doing these videos, guys. But other than that, a video that I will be able to continue doing for you guys, my videos with my range stuff, when I'm out here in the shop working on my guns, whether it be mounting new scopes or whatever, I still will be able to get those for you, so still be looking out for those. But a video that I will always be able to do, whether I'm out on the water or I'm here in the shop, and it is that time again, it is Monsterbass. So let's dive into this. So right off the bat, one of the things that Monsterbass is doing, I'm not really going to say it's new. They started it for a while and then they stopped and went back to doing some of their original stuff, but I think they're going to give it another try. So we have here, as always, our golden ticket. If you get the Platinum Edition Monster Bass, you get the bag that the lures come in that are reusable, but then you get this golden ticket. And whenever Monster Bass is live on, it says Wednesdays at 7 p.m., each ticket has a number on it. They call that number when they're doing their live video on YouTube. You win prizes. So get you one of these Platinum Monster Bass bags, and then tune in to their YouTube channel Wednesdays at 7 p.m. when they go live. They usually will have some of the pro staff as well as pro anglers on there talking about different tips and tricks and little secret things that they do to maximize their time on the water and put more fish in the boat. So that's always a cool thing. What Monster Bass is going back to is these cards, but it has the QR code on the back, and this is actually your fishing guidebook. So the books that usually come in these that have all your tips on the different lures and stuff is now on these cards right here. So you scan the QR code and it'll have your monthly bag information with all your lures and stuff like that. So I think Monster Bass is going to go back to doing these, probably because it's going to save them on some of the books and stuff like that. Here is another card with a QR code. You scan this, and I think it is an online. Yes, join the Monster Bass monthly fishing tournaments and go head to head with anglers from across the country. So yes, this QR code here on this card is a online fishing tournament. I'm pretty sure that whenever you scan the QR code, all of your rules and regulations for the tournament is on there. One of the good things about this tournament is you can fish from the bank, you can fish from a boat or a kayak, and then you can turn every catch you make into a chance to win cash and prizes. So that's a cool thing right there to try out. I guess one of these days I need to try it myself and see if I can't win a little bit of money. Who knows? That might go towards that boat that I'm eyeballing. As always, your stickers. We have our Burger King sticker, but it's the Bucket King. And then we have this cool looking little sticker, a little psychedelic looking. And it's, of course, April 2026. You got a bass there wearing a rain slicker. Hey, here in Arkansas, we're going through a little bit of a rain shower right now. So it's a fitting sticker for the month, because in Arkansas around this time, I say we don't have a spring season. We have a monsoon season, because it's always raining around here. So that sticker right there is very fitting for what we've got going on. But let's dive into this bag. I'm going to adjust my camera angle so that way you guys can see what I'm pulling out of the bag. Alright. First thing I'm going to grab is this right here. This is a Grand Bass Fishing Lures. It's a football head jig. The color is called Trophy Hunter. It's got a little bit of a purple into it with a little bit of, looks like green pumpkin. So that's probably going to be a good crawfish imitator. It's a football head jig. So I would probably put this on a rod that you would use for maybe flipping or Carolina rig. Throw this out, probably put a crawl on there as a trailer, throw it out there, get it out far, and then drag this back to the boat. Now with this football head jig, again, you're moving the bait with the rod, and I would fish this like you do a Carolina rig. I would throw it out, and whether you're left-handed, right-handed, it doesn't really matter, whichever side you prefer, but I would drag it to the side. And then once you get to the side, if you're looking straight ahead at your bait and that's your 12 o'clock, I would drag to my right over here to my 3 o'clock. And then once I've made that drag, as I come back to that 12 o'clock position, I'm going to reel up my slack and then start to drag again. You're going to feel a lot of the little bumps on the bottom. You're going to be able to feel if you've got hard bottom, soft bottom, you got some rocks, some pea gravel, shell bed, or maybe there's some stumps down there that you might knock into. and just be feeling for those bites. Again, keep in mind that as you are dragging this thing, whether you're dragging to the right side or you're dragging to your left side, if you feel that bite in the middle of that drag, what you'd want to do is reel up your slack and bring it back to the front, and then make a sweeping hook set to the side. That's going to make sure you get a good hook penetration with these lures. And you're just going to make sure that you really drive that hook in, so that way those fish stay pinned. Next lure I'm going to pull out is a Monsterbass square banger. And this is one of the Monsterbass lures. It is a shallow running crankbait, square bill crankbait, dives down 3 to 6 feet deep. So again, you're throwing shallow. It's a red crawfish pattern. This is called candy apple candy apple craw. I'm sorry, candy apple craw. And this is a silent. And what they mean by silent is okay. So in most of your crankbaits, it's got BBs in here. Either you've got a bunch of tiny little BBs, which is going to give it more of a high pitch rattle, or you've got little tungsten balls in there that make more of a lower knocking tone. But this one is called silent. So if I hold on to the hooks and don't let anything rattle, see that rattling that you might be able to hear is actually from like the lip and the split rings, but there's no rattles inside this crankbait. So it's a little bit more of a subtle presentation with the crankbait. You're still going to get that awesome wobbling action, diving down to those shallow depths, digging into the into the bottom, but there's no rattle. So it's not going to really spook a lot of those fish that might be a little bit more finicky. So this is a little bit more of a subtle presentation, but awesome. This thing, it looks really good, like really good. Of course, has the red katana treble hook that Monsterbass is known for on a lot of the Monsterbass products that they put out. So really good looking lure here. As always, remember when dealing with crankbaits and jerkbaits, your line size can play a part in the depth that your bait reaches. So if you want to maximize your depth, get down to its lowest, you want to go with a smaller line. I probably wouldn't go no lower than 10 pounds. If you want to try to keep it up over the bottom, then just start to increase your line size, and that might help. Another trick that I've kind of picked up from some of the pros from watching some of their videos is you can wrap a lead wire around your hook shanks, and that will add a little bit weight to pull that bait down. But be careful when you do that, because it could also offset the way that bait sits in the water. Okay, sticking with crankbaits, here recently or here lately, Monsterbass has been doing this thing where we've been putting out products, different fishing lures. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it says product testing bait. So Monsterbass has been putting lures in their bags, and we get to test them, and then we will do a review on these lures to let them know what we think about them and how well they work. And if they get a lot of good reviews, then they'll put it into full production and start putting it, I guess, on their website. So here's a small crankbait. I would probably say this is a small finesse crankbait. It's got a couple of little beads in there for a rattle. I would probably throw this on a spinning setup. The color for this is called threadfin, so this is a good threadfin shad imitating bait. Again, I would probably throw this on a spinning setup because it is such a small profile bait. However, I could be wrong. So if you want to try to test this on a bait caster, I would say go for it, but just be mindful within the first couple of casts. If you can't get that reel dialed in to make good casts with this thing without backlashing, I would probably then switch it and put it on a spinning setup because it is such a light bait. And Like, even on my package here, it doesn't even tell me like the weight of that lure. So again, if you want to test it on there on a bait caster, go for it. But I would probably throw this on a spinning setup. And then next we have a Apex blade. This is one of their chatterbaits. It's got a 5/0 HD wide gap hook. This is 3/8 ounce. I'm guessing the color is called highlighter, but it's a chartreuse. You guys can't see. I think you can see that. It has that white belly there on the bottom in that skirt, and then that top part there is a chartreuse. So again, another good shad imitating bait. It's a chatterbait, so it's got that blade, so it's going to give off some vibration. This hook design is like, I don't want to say it's a weird hook design, but it is a super wide gap hook. That's going to be good for a good hookup ratio, because you're going to have a lot of space in between that hook point and your shank there. So I'm saying that and I'm not even pointing to it, but see right here where my finger is where your hook point is at, or this finger. And then down here where the shank of it is. So you've got a lot of space in between right there, which is going to be good for hookups. Whatever your favorite chatterbait trailer is, go for that. Mix match the colors or match the colors, whichever one you prefer. It says that it has a custom realistic jig head. So I guess it has a very unique design to the jig head, which is probably going to help cut through the water to give it a little bit better of a swimming action. But really cool looking bait. You can't ever go wrong with vibrating jigs of any kind. Next, I have a pack of Robo Worm. Basically, it's like a straight tail worm. You guys can see that with that chartreuse tip, which is going to be really good because it's kind of a eye-catching little deal for the fish, as well as for those anglers. If you're targeting a fish maybe on a bed, you'll be able to see that chartreuse in the water, and when you see that disappear, it's a good indication, especially if it's a soft strike. That is a good indication that that fish has your bait. This is a full pack. You have 6-inch straight tail worms. This color is called Morning Dawn Hologram, and it's a 10-pack. And it's a very weird looking color. It's got a chartreuse stripe in it, a little bit of like a bluish color to it with I guess you could say like a purplish color. So a very unique color. Got a lot of salt in this. But I bet you if you throw this thing on maybe not a shaky head. Well, shaky head probably. Drop shot is what I was thinking. Or maybe even as a floating worm. Well, I don't think it'll float too well because it's got that salt. That salt's going to help it sink. Maybe just a weightless setup. And yeah, this will probably catch you a lot. And then the last thing, well, not the last thing really. We've got this pack of Switchblade blades in here, hence the name Switchblade. But this, you take any of your favorite jigs. I would probably pick a swim jig, and you add this, and you've now turned your favorite swim jig into a vibrating jig. So really cool piece of terminal tackle right there. And the last thing we got is this bag of Three Brothers baits. Looks like a little minnow style bait. Looks like it's green pumpkin with either green or black flake in it, but probably would make a good flipping bait. You probably could put this as a trailer. You probably could even do like a Nico rig with this thing, depending on how you rig it, or a wacky rig. But I mean, you can just explore with these little baits. I would probably throw this on a small Texas rig setup and flip it in and out of some bushes and some laydowns, stuff like that. But that is all of the baits that came in the April Monster Bass bag. So if you guys are wanting to get your own Monster Bass bag, I will leave the link in the description section down below, so that way you guys can get your own Monster Bass. There we go. Hi, it's me again. So I will leave a link in the description section for you to get your own Monster Bass. They have several different levels, as well as they have different boxes. I believe the Platinum Series is the only one where you get the bag, but they do have other series that do come in box. They have the pan fishing. I believe they have one for catfishing, I believe, but it has the different lures and stuff for the different species of fishing. So whatever fits you, you can go on Monster Bass, select that box, and get those. It's also geared towards the region that you're fishing in. So for me, I'm fishing in the South region, fishing in Arkansas. None of these lures, or I say that, but these lures should be very, very productive for where I'm fishing. You could probably still have some success with these baits fishing on the West Coast, but not as much as you probably would here in the South, because these baits are picked based on the region. So that's one of the great things about Monster Bass. You get to select the region that you are fishing in, and the lures are pretty much tailored to your region. So again, leave a link down in the description section. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching. I hope everybody is having some fun getting out there on the water. Don't let your rainy days keep you from fishing unless it's lightning and thundering. But get you a good rain suit and go out there and try to catch some fish in the water, or in the rain. I'm sorry. Go out there and try to catch some fish while it's raining. You might be surprised on what you can get. So with that being said, guys, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening to me rant and rave about my boat issues, but I'll get that worked out, guys. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. Make sure you click on the bell, click all, so you'll be notified every time I put out a video. If you like this video, please smash that thumbs up button. Make sure you share the video, and please leave comments, and I will try to get back to you, your questions or comments or whatever, as soon as I possibly can. Thank you again, and I hope to see you all in the great outdoors.